Promise Neighborhood is the gift that Lancaster and the zone at Clinton really needs. It is a promise that we are going to do whatever it takes so that each child in the zone, living in the zone, will succeed and be able to achieve whatever their dreams are.
This is a generational movement, if you will. We're trying to get people to see things completely different than what they're accustomed to.
Lancaster Promise Neighborhood has the ability to see about serious transformation within a generation and on a holistic scale. You know, as a preacher, that's something that's close to my heart, addressing the wholeness of a person and the wholeness of a neighborhood. And we recognize that Lancaster Promise Neighborhood is an opportunity to make sure that we put the tools of success in the hands of every child and every citizen who live within the zone, realizing that if they succeed, we all succeed.
So the Promise Neighborhood stepping into the zone really helps to transform the child. Through the transformation of the child, the Promise Neighborhood is going to transform the family. Through the family being transformed, then with the community. And we can see the Promise Neighborhood becoming the catalyst that changes a generation from generation to generation.
From cradle to college. What an opportunity for us as a community to be able to work directly with our young people, to build character, to build educational opportunities, and to have future growth.
It's generational change, giving people different opportunities, giving them insight to things that they've never seen before or known before. Because if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. And so our goal is to provide exposure, if you will, to other opportunities that the citizens and the children within the zones would not normally be exposed to.
Promise Neighborhood is breaking the curse of poverty over those children that live in that zone. So that's what I see as the prevailing fact that's going to help change a generation.
My dream is to change the way that people look at the three schools in the zone, Clinton, A.R. Rook, and Lancaster High. It's not failing schools, but one of the best schools in the state of South Carolina and even in the country.
I expect the students to take what they've learned and use it. They're given opportunities to do a lot of things that they probably wouldn't have never had the opportunity to do. So I expect the children to take what they've learned in this program and use it.
From an educational standpoint, giving children an opportunity to learn, giving them an environment where they can learn well. You know, whether it's making sure that their belly's full when they come to school, making sure they have the proper support when they go home to do that homework, and making sure that they have the social skills to interact with other people in different ways than what they're accustomed to or what they have seen in the past.
Promise Neighborhood came along just in time where it can be a catalyst for change within the zone. One thing I love about Promise Neighborhood that it really addresses the needs of the zone. I want it to be able to, when people think about Promise Neighborhood, they always think about what goes on in Harlem. We want them to think about what's going on here in Lancaster, how it's affecting our children, how it's increasing our test scores, how it's improving the academic setting of each of the three schools that are predominantly low-income students attend. Not just addressing the children, but also addressing the family as a whole, because we know without family, where are we?
And so Promise Neighborhood is going to not only, as I said, affect our children, but also affect our families by having them more involved and intertwined into what the community is doing. When the community is intertwined with the school, then the school is able to be more effective in touching the lives of children. Having Promise Neighborhood as being that catalyst that help, let's call it a foundation piece. Having them, Promise Neighborhood as the foundation piece to help build up the family is going to be the transformational change that Lancaster County is really needing at this time.
My expectation is to really create a neighborhood, a community in which, once again, everybody can feel a sense of belonging, inclusion, and also everyone can make a serious contribution. And we recognize that people can only make contributions from what they have, right? So we give them those tools of success, those tools for mobility and opportunity. They can go out and create opportunities for others. And likewise, that's creating a Lancaster in which everyone has the ability to work, live, and play, and to reach their God-given potential.
By the 5-year mark, I'm expecting that the poverty level in the zone will be, I can't say eradicated, but it will become better in the zone, in that area. I see more job opportunities. I see also after the 5-year period, many of the high school students who have come through the Promise Neighborhood program, through the extended day program, probably at A.I. Rucker and then the high school, I can see them coming back after going through the Promise Neighborhood program, the extended day program, and giving back, becoming also those change agents in the community that they come from.
If you think about yarn, and let's say the Promised Neighborhood is a yellow piece of yarn, I want to see that woven into the entire fabric of the community where it is standard practice of expectations of excellence for our community, where we can see our children and our citizens given fair opportunities and giving them the baseline so that when they have an opportunity before them, they're able to capitalize on it.
Last night when I was over at Lancaster High School, I saw children developing their confidence within themselves, that we could come together as one and overcome things that make it so hard for us to make it, that kids have forgotten how to dream for the future. And I think that is so very important. We want them to be able to see that they can be the next Barack Obama. They can be the next Tyrone Faulkner, that they can be the next Miss Witherspoon, the principal of the school. It is so much that Promise Neighborhood can offer. We just got to get individuals to believe in the program and the change that it can bring about.
So the 5-year plan for me, the vision I see is Promise Neighborhood not only being in that zone, but also in 5 years spreading out throughout the county.
For instance, sometimes people have asked us about, why are we just focused on this particular group of people? And it's because this is the most impoverished group that we have. So what we're hoping to do is not only help the children within the zone and the citizens within the zone, but we want to create a process where we're looking at the best practices that are out there. So those best practices can be used in Indian Land. They can be used at AJ. They can be used in Beaufort. They can be used in all of our communities so that Lancaster County will benefit from all of this. Not only the school systems, but also the community as well. As you know, that's something that we're focused on.
10 years from now, I want to see other people wanting to transfer into our schools in the zone. I want to see people coming to Lancaster, not going to Harlem, to see how we have brought about change within our communities. I want to see the numbers increase in regards to our students attending college, trade school, are being prepared to provide for their families in the future.
The kind of changes I want to see affordable housing. I want to see increased home ownership. I also want to see community beautification, right? We have so many abandoned homes throughout our community. I want to see those communities cleaned up. I want to see active engagement from our citizens, serving not only just an elected office, but also spearheading these initiatives to create a better Lancaster, literally putting their voices, their thoughts into policy. And also, I would love to see one of the kids come through extended day and take my position as director of Lancaster Promise Neighborhood.
The top 3 needs I see is education, economic development, and crime. If we could get those 3 things, we could change our community for the better. because we know educationally we're not where we need to be. Economically, and especially economic development, is not where it needs to be. And we know that crime occurs. Pretty much the majority of the crime is committed in District 2 is where the zone is.
First I said jobs, 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 but I'm really thinking jobs is number one, economic opportunity. Because if our families can find that economic leg up, then that progressively moves them from poverty into a better, socioeconomic situation.
Not only are we working on increasing their educational levels, we're working on economic development and fighting crime and working on crime in our community.
I'm a firm believer in education. If you get that education down as far as a foundation, that's a key pillar. The other piece, and this is a personal thing for me, is your spiritual growth. I think if you combine the education and the spiritual growth, that's a great combination.
What makes me excited about Lancaster Promise Neighborhood is the opportunity to make a difference. I know that people say that all the time and it's so cliche, but as the child of a single teenage mother who was raised by great-grandparents and who sits here today only because someone addressed my holistic needs, making sure that I was whole educationally, professionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, that gets me excited in the morning. That this is just not a job, this is not a career, this is a passion. This is an opportunity to make a difference, to transform lives. And in transforming lives, we are transforming a neighborhood, and we are making a difference. And I truly believe that Lancaster Promise Neighborhood is going to be the model of success for every Promise Neighborhood model in the Southeast and throughout the nation on how to get it done, because we are doing whatever it takes, and we are serious with that model, whatever it takes to creating a neighborhood in which everyone feels a sense of belonging, inclusion, and where everyone feels they can make a difference.
Together, we can succeed.
Together we can succeed.
Together, we can succeed.
Together we can succeed.
So together, we can succeed.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.